Good afternoon there. I have McEwan's Scotch Ale. So I'm pretty excited about this because I really like Irish and Scotch beers a lot, and this was something I hadn't seen before, and I don't remember where I found it, so I might not see it again. So I think that this is a strong Scotch ale. Actually, I'm relatively certain it's a strong Scotch ale just based on alcohol by volume. So it's 8%. The strong Scotch ale category range is about 6.5 to 10%. So there you have it. And it's very dark. I was wondering if it was a red ale, but based on alcohol by volume, we can rule that out. Another name for this category is wee heavy, and so I've seen a lot of beers marketed as such. And I think, yes, this is actually, and if I would have read that before starting the video, I would have been able to know in advance, but nonetheless, here it is. McEwan Scotch Ale is on the commercial examples list, so this should be too amazingly to style, but let's give it a shot here. Interesting. I get a lot of sweetness out of this. But backed up by some kind of deep, complex, earthy smells, which I'm going to attribute to hops for that particular region. Yeah. Okay. So appearance-wise, this is actually pretty dark. I think it says light copper to dark brown color with ruby red highlights, and so I think that that's probably appropriate for the style. I don't see a lot of ruby red, but it's definitely a nice deep brown color. It says usually has a large tan head, which may not persist in the stronger versions, and so it did pour with a little bit of head. But it didn't retain, and I think based on 8% alcohol by volume that we're going to see some legs here, which would be appropriate for this particular style. So let's dive into flavor. Yeah, that's nice and refreshing. This has a good heavy malt backbone to it, but that's appropriate for this particular style. I get out of this that kind of sweet grape juice flavor that I find in some of the European style darker ales, and I like it. I feel like this beer has a lot of rich, fruity juiciness to offer that's backed by some nice maltiness in a kind of light body. It's almost like, I don't even know, it's not heavy like a stout would be, but it's not thick. It's nice and smooth. I don't get any alcohol warming out of it. And actually, it even says here that the esters may suggest plums, raisins, or dried fruit. The palate is usually full and sweet, but may finish with a sweet to medium dry finish, depending on the use of the of roasted barley. And I think that perfectly describes this beer. It's got this great complexity with the grains, but this light fruitiness that really just kind of makes it all work together in a way that's not overwhelming, not overly malty, not overly sweet, very nicely balanced. I like that it says that the overall impression for this particular category is that it's suggestive of a dessert, and that complex secondary malt flavors prevent one-dimensional impression. I think that's a very technical way of saying that it's that it has a robust flavor to it, and it's very enjoyable, very well done, yummy, and I'm glad that I came across it. I think Anyway, okay, so the history for this particular style, it's also known as a wee heavy, is fermented at cooler temperatures than most ales, with fewer hopping rates, resulting in clean, intense malt flavors. Well suited to the region of origin, with abundant malt and cool fermentation and aging temperatures. Hops, which are not native to Scotland and formerly expensive to import, were kept to a minimum. So that kind of explains why it is that I like Scottish ales, because they are not often hopped very heavily, and so it has a nice flavor to it, but not an overuse, which implies that I might think that some American ales have overuse of hops, but that's a different discussion. Nonetheless, very good, great beer. I think perfectly to style, very enjoyable, and I think that I found it at Whole Foods locally. Because I have a couple other beers in my refrigerator that are from Whole Foods. So that's my best guess. But if this is something that you have tried, let me know. And let me know if you're a Scotch ale fan, if you like this particular region, and then the style, the Scottish strong ale. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great afternoon.